Hello, good afternoon. And again, thanks for joining us at the Hydrogen Fuel Cells Batteries Group exhibit in Hanover 2018. Please help yourselves to some drinks and join us for our next talk, which is with Mr. Volker Nerlich, who's the project leader PACE at Viessmann. And the topic is Fuel Cell Micro-Cogeneration, Picking Up Pace, Addressing Barriers and Seizing Opportunities in Europe. Thank you very much for joining us. Hi. Oh, perfect. That's right.
Hello, Robin.
Welcome. Hi. Thank you very much. So first of all, if you could tell us a little bit, please, about yourself, a little bit about what you do for Hexxus and for Viessmann.
Okay, thank you, Robin, for also the invitation to talk here to represent PACE and Viessmann and Hexxus. There's a lot of names. So my name is Volker Nerlich. I'm head of marketing and sales at Hexxus. Hexxus is a subsidiary of Viessmann since 2015. Within this company, I got the new role, addition to the head of marketing sales, to care for the project PACE within the group, not only for Hexxus but for Viessmann. So Hexxus is a subsidiary, I mentioned already. We are developing a SOFC system, which should be launched in April 2019 under the brand of Viessmann. And Viessmann itself offers already a fuel cell system. It's a Japanese, a Panasonic system. You can see it over there on the booth of Hessen. It's called Vitavalor PT2. So the Viessmann Group will offer until next year 2 different fuel cell systems for different market opportunities. Basically, some words about Viessmann. It's a family-owned business located in Allendorf, which is in the middle of Hessen. 12,000 employees worldwide and about 2.2 billion, more or less, turnover within more or less northern hemisphere, providing heating, cooling, and systems for making electricity.
Thank you for that. And so if you could tell us about PACE and what PACE's objectives are.
So PACE, it's a quite nice project. Started under the cover of Horizon 2020. It's, I think, the 8th framework program of the European Union. And the target of the PACE means, at the end of the day, to deploy more than 2,500 fuel cells all over Europe. So our target is in a consortium of 4 manufacturers and institutes and consultants and utility like Cogen Europe, for example, as a project coordinator, Element Energy from London, Technical University in Denmark, and EWE from northern Germany to provide to support the project. Manufacturers are Viessmann is one partner, of course, Bosch, BDR Temir, and Solid Power. We all together want to deploy exactly 2,650 fuel cells for residential and commercial application throughout Europe. I think it might be 11 countries.
Thank you. How will PACE deliver on the objective of developing markets and policies in fuel cell micro-CHP? And most importantly, what is micro-CHP?
First, micro-CHP might be helpful to know. Micro-CHP is nothing else than a technology which is ready to convert any kind of primary energy like natural gas, hydrogen, into heat and electricity, like an internal combustion engine or a fuel cell. Fuel cells have the interesting feature that they have the highest efficiency in terms of electrical output. So electrical efficiency of a fuel cell ranges from 30% to 60% in a small electrical output. This is not possible with any thermodynamic machine. So fuel cells provide a lot of high-value electricity for the end customer and for the use of the system.
And what are the opportunities that you see for fuel cell micro-CHP in Europe?
I think in Europe we have different agendas. One most important point is, of course, CO2 emission. We want to optimize our energy supply system. Another point, of course, is saving resources. And for that, it's not only helpful to have, in our opinion, technologies like renewables, wind and solar energy, but also technologies which are dispatchable, which can be influenced by an operator of the system in order to provide reliable and affordable, at least affordable energy, so electrical and thermal energy for the end customer. What I forgot to mention, the objectives of space are therefore, you realize I explained CHP. CHP means only a few people know what it is. Even less will know what a fuel cell is. So our approach is we have to raise awareness for fuel cells, for micro-CHP with fuel cells, in order to make the people understand what can be the benefit of a fuel cell system for every person's building, for a commercial system, for a user who's ready to refurbish its building. Basically, we want to improve awareness. Every person who wants to refurbish its building should think about a fuel cell as one of the first thoughts. The other point to make that happen is we have to reduce, as a manufacturer, we have to reduce the cost. We want to increase the performance, electrical output, and reduce electrical efficiency, of course, and total efficiency. And we want to increase numbers as a fact or as a result of higher awareness and better lower prices.
Right. So from that, what business case can be made from that?
Okay, so the driver, besides the benefit to reduce CO2 emissions and to save resources, is the spread, the difference between price for electricity on one hand and price for gas on the other hand. This is a driver to make it happen in a building where a person can see that this system is affordable. Affordable means, I think, efficient and renewable technologies has a disadvantage of higher prices for investment, but in this case we can offer kind of a short payback, it's a shorter payback after 7 years, for example, to make it possible in Belgium. This is one of our targets. So the driver is at least the economical way of thinking to reduce consumption of electricity from the grid and to reduce its own electricity or energy bill.
And what would you say are the main challenges for the fuel cell micro-CHP in Europe?
One part I mentioned already, that's the awareness. We need to raise awareness because in many cases the investment itself is not a big discussion, so we need to find those people. But another point is we have to reduce the prices, but quite important is at the moment we have kind of administrative constraints. We are the end customer, the installer has to fight at the end of the day with a lot of paperwork. He has to announce the system for the utilities. You need to know that there's kind of electrical input for the grid, and also if you want to gain or get some payback for the electricity generated, it's always a paperwork, it's always effort, and you can imagine if you're used to make hairs or to work in a bank, you're not used to work on energy documents and with kilowatt hours and kilowatt and different items, which are sometimes probably pretty difficult to handle for an end customer, even also for an installer. And that's the other point. The installer live in a quite nice world. They have no big problems to get no new customers, and for us, the end customer, is one important group, but the other group, which is kind of a bottleneck, is the installer. The installer is normally the person who's installing the system within the basement of a building, and they need to be attracted as well.
Right, so they can recommend the technology and they can recommend the products.
Yes,
correct?
And they tend to use recommend technologies which are better, well known, which are used for them.
Like you say, spread awareness from the ground up.
Basically.
What are the next steps for fuel cell micro CHP in Europe, you think?
We need, of course, improve our numbers deployed. So for Viessmann, for us as a group, we want to deploy 750 systems within PACE. We will, for the whole group, we will target higher numbers. We want to have thousands systems. And in the consortium, in the PACE consortium, we expect to reach from 2020 kind of 10,000 systems deployed throughout Europe. And for that, we have to reduce further on the price and raise awareness as a basic precondition to make that happen.
And can you tell us a little bit about the new product that's on the third generation that relaunched again this month in April 2018?
Yes, we started with our fuel cell VT Valor, with the PMFC system from Panasonic in early 2014. And until now, we are offering the third generation, which is offered over there. We launched that system in April this month for the first time, and this will generate also reduced cost in terms of operational contract for 10 years, so kind of a service contract. We will optimize the operation data, performance data. So it's a part of the steady process to improve technology, to reduce prices, and to rise performance of the system, to rise attractivity for the customer.
Thank you. And just one last thought, what would you like people to take away from this conversation, like the high points?
For you as an audience, I think you should know a fuel cell system is not a prototype, it's a product. It's a product we want to deploy, so it doesn't matter for us whether you buy, it matters of course, but basically you can, whether you buy a fuel cell or a gas condensing boiler, in terms of maturity, we are confident we offer more or less the same. But the efficiency is far away from a gas condensing boiler, even from a heat pump, so it's a highest efficiency system we can offer, and this should be clear for everyone who is ready to refurbish his building. It's ready. The technology is available.
Thank you very much. And our thanks to Volker Nerlich, a project leader at Viessmann Werke, who's here with PACE. And their booth is number B67, just behind there. So please go visit them if you want to have a look at their product. I think they brought their prototype here. Perfect. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Robin. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. And up next, I have a colleague coming up. He's going to interview Dr. Peter Podesa. He's the CEO at SFC Energy AG, and the topic is SFC fuel cells, the environmentally friendly solution for off-grid energy and mobility. Thank you very much.